It was former sub-postmistress Jo Hamilton who said it best when former Post Office Chief Paula Vennells finally caved into the pressure this afternoon and announced that she would be handing back that CBE with immediate effect. There was a collective sigh of relief that at last someone in this sorry saga had finally done the right thing. But it was Jo who was wrongfully convicted over 15 years ago of stealing thousands of pounds from the village shop she ran in Hampshire who nailed it. Saying she was glad the honour had been handed back after a petition was signed by more than 1 million people, and even Prime Minister Rishi Sunak had urged Vennells to do it, Jo added, "It's a shame it took just 1 million people to cripple her conscience. It shows the people have spoken about everything, really. It's not just about the CBE, it's about how disgusting the whole thing is. We're all sick and tired of people taking money, being paid exorbitant amounts of money, and politicians taking absolutely no notice of you whatsoever. I think the people are just sick of it." Well, how right she is, and how apposite are those words. The hateful eight, those high rollers who made so much money while persecuting and prosecuting honest, hard-working men and women in sub-post offices around the country, are still living high on the hog. Not for them a life of ruin, of uncertainty, of damage, of sleepless nights. No. And Paula Vennells is just one of those eight. After all, she was only given her CBE for services to the Post Office in 2019. The same year, postmasters were awarded £58 million for the false prosecutions on her watch. And what about the other 7 people? There's Adam Crozier, Vennells' predecessor, handed the chief executive role by Tony Blair in 2003 and earning over 15 million quid as he presided over the closure of 7,000 office branches. He's not even in the ITV drama, by the way. There's Alice Perkins, the wife of Labour grandee Jack Straw, who apologised for the deep distress she caused during her time at the helm, obfuscating the truth to politicians. Then there's the Prince of Darkness, Tim Parker, a notorious private equity tycoon who supported Vennells in her battle with 555 sub-postmasters through the courts. Michael Keegan, husband of current Education Secretary Gillian Keegan, is another one. He was in charge of Fujitsu when their deeply flawed Horizon system was introduced. And Sir Ed Davey, of course. He's another name that continues to come up. The Lib Dem leader claims he was lied to as Post Office Minister, but many people now believe he should resign for his lacklustre response to what was clearly a growing disaster. And finally, there is the gruesome twosome. Angela van der Borgen was in charge of handling complaints about Horizon and is blamed for much of the misery heaped on sub-postmasters. And what about Canadian dame Moya Green, another chief executive? She earned over 11 million quid during her tenure as chief executive. This story still has plenty of road to run. But let's hope that today's events are the beginning of the end for all of these jokers, these fraudsters, these charlatans. Never again let them push the little people around. Justice is coming, and right soon.